he did the painting, maybe like a 12th scale, and then we ended up blowing it up, scanning it in, blowing it up, and now we're wrapping an entire wall with it. 8 foot by 24 foot long.
This is actually the very first technology type application I've dealt with. Most of the time I have to get on scaffolding and ladders to hand paint these murals. But this way I can do them to scale in my studio, full color. And the scaled art then is scanned, put in a computer, and there's the results.
That's amazing, isn't it?
And then they just apply it to panels, which is fantastic. It's quicker, more reasonable cost-wise, and it does a quality job better than I can do it with a brush.
That is, so how long would it take you to paint a mural like this?
A couple of months anyway.
It would take a couple of months. And then, so you can design a mural on a smaller canvas, I guess, right?
Yeah, well actually I do it on illustration board in my studio. And I generally use like an inch equals a foot to scale. And that way I can get all the detail I want, all the brilliant colors that I generally would have to mix at a table on the ground and go up the ladder and try to apply them. This way it's just one beautiful painting.
And Jack, you've been doing murals around Kirk County for a while now, haven't you?
I've had murals all over the country.
All over the country?
I even have a mural in a little gambling casino 40 miles north of London, England.
Wow. So how did you get started with the murals?
I don't recall. It's been so many years.
Well, how many years have you been doing murals now?
Oh gosh, over 50.
Over 50 years. Yeah. And do you know how many murals that do you have an estimate on how many you might have done?
No, actually, the largest project I did was when SeaWorld of San Antonio was being built, the park. And I was hired in there with my crew to do all of the murals throughout that park. Then I became their scenic art director, and lasted about 2 years and wanted to go back independent. So I'm glad I did, because after I resigned from SeaWorld, right up the road was Six Flags Fiesta Texas being built, and I went up there and did that part.
So your murals at Six Flags Fiesta Texas?
Yeah, these are years ago when those parks were being built.
Yeah.
They change them periodically.
Yeah.
And another ones I did was Hyatt Regency Hotel down in the Riverwalk, San Antonio.
Yeah, I've seen those before, yeah.
I guess I've done so many I can't remember them all.
And so, but this is the first one that you've done with this kind of technology.
It is.
And what would you say the experience is like with it?
I love it. It's just fantastic. So much easier on the artist, and the quality of work these guys do.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. And after this project, I'm going to redo the murals in Ingram, the historical murals. There's 3,000 square feet. There's 15 points of historical interest, each painting 144 square feet. On the opposite side of the building, there's a long one that's 76 feet long.
Wow.
They've been up there. I did them 32 years ago, hand painted.
Yeah.
They lasted well over 20 years, but then time takes its toll. It's kind of like painting your house. It's going to fade in time.
Right.
And so they were trying to figure out how in the world can we bring these back to life. Well, I didn't know. They asked me if I'd repaint them, and I said, shucks, no. I'm too old to climb ladders. And so they hired a few people that thought they were artists, and they messed them up big time. You can't spot paint art, touch them up. It's impossible.
So once it's done, it's done.
It's kind of like if your house faded and it was painted 20 years ago, and you ask a painter to spot, would you just touch it up? It's going to look like a leopard.
Yeah.
So in turn, after learning this technology is available, I took this to the mayor and the council in Ingram and said, look what we can do. It's cheaper, quicker, and it's better looking. And they said, go for it. We got the funding, let's do it.
That's
so I'll
amazing.
be starting on that right after, about a week.
Right after this one. This is, so when did you do this mural right here?
About 2-3 weeks ago.
So it went from your artistic design.
They tracked me down somehow and asked me if I would be interested in doing a mural. And I said, sure, I'll come over and talk to you. And they told me what their idea was, is the kind of the history of the Masonic Lodge here in the 1850s.
Yeah.
So that gave me an idea how to sketch out to scale a sort of historical thing, because it was started by Texas Rangers initially. So I'm adding Texas Rangers into the motif. I've got an 1850 feeling for the territory and the horses and cowboys and stuff. That's how that came about. I showed them the pencil sketch. They loved it. Did the color, and here we are today.
And here it is. Here's the mural right out here.
Absolutely.
That's the whole thing too.
Yes, sir.
Look at that.
We printed it out on adhesive back vinyl, and we laminated it so it's protected. It has a UV coating on top of it. And then we came out yesterday and put up the panels, the boards that it's actually going to sit on, because it probably wouldn't have worked very good on the cinder block. So they did a framework behind it. We put the panels up yesterday, and then today we came out and rolled out the vinyl on top of those panels, which is actually a faster process than what we did the boards yesterday. Yesterday it took us 2.5 hours to do that. It took us an hour just to do this.
Just to put the panels up.
So it's actually a very fast process compared to painting.
Yeah, he said it would take a couple months to paint this. You know, and he'd have to have ladders and everything.
Yeah.
And
so now we're just going back, checking for any imperfections, cleaning it up, cutting the edges, and that's it. We're done. So it'll take us longer to set up, pack up than it is to actually put it on.
that's awesome. All right,
I'm just so happy that I was asked to do it.
Well,
I'm very honored.